Hello. This is gonna be my review of Fantastic Four: First Steps, and I'm joined by my dad.
What's my name?
You want to? I don't even know how this works.
I'm sure a quick Google search will
validate your identity. Okay, so I've been trying to very quickly provide synopsis or summary for the movie that helps me to orient myself.
You want a one shot for this?
Yeah, we'll spice it up later. I'm not editing these. Alright, so Fantastic Four: First Steps takes place in an alternate within the MCU, but in an alternate universe of the MCU, Earth 628, I think, right?
I think that's right.
And yeah, this is Marvel's introduction of the Fantastic Four into the MCU. So the movie starts out and kind of skips past the origin story and summarizes it in a within the context of a TV talk show where they're gonna have the Fantastic Four on as guests, and then they sort of have a little segment on remembering the Fantastic Four and how they came to be, and then
Kind
the
of
show.
an opening package.
Yeah, good example of show don't tell, would you say? But yeah, I think MCU has been doing a good job of jumping straight into characters in that way and not lingering too much on origin stories where they don't need to. Anyways, I'll talk about my thoughts later, but origin story, and then oh gosh, what happened after that?
They're at home.
Oh no! They're about to be guests on a talk show,
Oh.
and then they get an emergency that Mole Man is attacking the city. They fight Mole Man. They save the day from Mole Man, and then kind of jump ahead, and then you find out that Sue Storm is pregnant, and Reed and Sue are in this new phase of their relationship where they're going to be parents, but they're concerned because they don't know if their child is going to be normal or have powers, and so Reed is kind of freaking out about how am I going to go about raising a child that might possibly be an unknown to me. And then we're introduced to Ben and Johnny, and then we're introduced to the Silver Surfer, who is the herald for a planet-devouring cosmic being called Galactus. And so the Fantastic Four go into space to try and negotiate with Galactus. And then long story short, they end up battling or having to find a way to escape Galactus from devouring their world. And then ultimately they save their planet by transporting Galactus into a black hole, right? Isn't that what happens?
Yeah, I mean,
Or they use a
jumping
black
all the way to the end. Yeah.
Transport him. But yeah, that's pretty much.
Spoiler
the long
alert.
and
Do you
short.
want to? These are all spoilers.
Yeah, these are all spoiler alerts because I don't know how to do a non-spoiler review yet. But that's a good. That's pretty much the bulk. Excuse me. Of what happens. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. Anything to add to that summary?
Just that they find out that Sue and Reed's baby find out through Galactus that there's something special about this baby, and he's sort of the MacGuffin of why Galactus is after the Earth, right? He's after them.
It's the MacGuffin.
It's like the thing you chase in the movie.
MacGuffin. Oh, that's like a cinema term,
I guess, or a story term.
like mise en scène. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty important.
Okay, I mean, I don't know how much you want to get into plot, but
Well, I don't. If I start getting into the details, then I won't
We'll
stop
be here all
talking
night.
about it. So I'm gonna go through the notes that I took. This is what I did last time, just linearly read through my notes. Oh, okay. So one thing that I think this movie did really well was building an immersive world and sort of taking a unique departure from your typical MCU format, but still kind of carrying the undertones of an MCU movie. It found a way to feel fresh and new, and I think that started with even like the opening sequences and the title cards. We watched it on an IMAX screen, and normally you have your IMAX branded opening that you see for every IMAX movie, but this was done in like a 60s style opening. And then our Marvel title card into the movie Fantastic Four Final Steps title card, everything was different than what you would see in a typical Marvel movie. You didn't have the typical Marvel opening logo, no red color scheme, everything was blue and white. So from the very get-go, you don't feel like you're watching a Marvel movie.
It's as if this was the MCU in a different universe.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking this is an interesting spin-off, but that's basically what it is.
I saw that just now, as you were describing that.
I didn't know you were that smart about that.
Sometimes
That's too crazy to me. But yeah, I mean, it was a very immersive world that they built. Like the interior design felt 60s, their outfits felt 60s.
Music.
Yeah, I think that if you leave like a gaping hole in a world, then you can sort of you can break the immersion. But if you satisfy all of the criteria for a world building well, then you can hide that and really like engage the viewer in the world. So like, I mean, that includes everything from wardrobe to music to VFX to the way that they speak. I would say that it was all pretty covered, all their bases covered.
There were a couple times I feel like they took us out of the 60s. I don't know if we'll talk about that yet, but we could talk about that later if you want.
No, talk about it.
Okay.
Just go.
Yeah. So
go off of the thought that you have.
So it was very, yeah, like you say, very immersive. This retro, futuristic 60s, very much the Jack Kirby kind of, 60s that they made in the Marvel comics. But a couple times took me out. One was when either Reed called Sue this or Sue called Reed Babe. I don't think they used Babe in the 60s. And another time was when Johnny Storm tried to high-five his sister. I don't think they high-fived in the 60s.
And then he said, "Oh shoot, my Apple Watch is beeping."
Oh, well, it wasn't an Apple Watch, but yeah, it was a futuristic watch. But those two times, other than that, pretty immersive.
Yeah, that can take you out of it.
Yeah. But it was very, very consistent otherwise.
Yeah.
The music helped too. Michael Giacchino with his sort of tiki vibe kind of music, or his symphonic kind of old style 60s adventure music.
Yeah, I didn't realize that music was playing perpetually throughout the movie. You pointed that out to me.
It felt like it.
Because
I could be wrong, but it felt like it.
Yeah, I don't recall a lot of moments where there was dead space with a character just like sitting in silence. Because I walked away from the movie not really like, none of the songs are really memorable to me. I remember that they paired well with the scene, but there wasn't like a theme that I'm like humming in my head.
Just that Fantastic Four, that part.
Oh, I barely remember that.
Not really a melodic theme that you can whistle right now.
Yeah, right? So the music was good, but maybe it was have like good music the entire time? Is it? I don't know. What is that?
Atmospheric? I don't know. It adds to
Good
the
atmospheric music? Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't like a special number or
Yeah.
a.
And you did you mention the color palette was different?
Yeah, color palette was very blue
Mhm.
accent and bright colors. Not very many dull colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, immersion was done very well. I felt like throughout the movie they hit on really relatable family themes. Lots of different themes that family members go through. And the first one was having a baby and like showing that as a new adventure for two parents. Because yeah, that's what it felt like when we've had family members that were starting a whole process of getting a baby and preparing for a baby and researching for a baby. You don't really think about it until someone close to you is involved with something like that.
It pulls everyone in.
Pulls
together.
everyone into it, elevates everyone. And then they did a good job of kind of like visually representing what that looks and feels and sounds like.
I like that part when, as they were trying to figure out whether the baby was normal or cosmically radiated or mutated. Sue wasn't having all of Reed's gadgets attached to her or whatnot, and then she finally agreed, and she turns her stomach invisible. So he could see the baby. I thought for a second, is Reed hooked something up to her? And I realized
That's cool.
she made herself invisible so they could see the baby. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I always like when the MCU does interesting things with superpowers. Kind of plays around with like they do things that I feel like I would have a conversation with my friends about when I was a kid. Stuff like, oh, what if the Hulk did this, or what if Iron Man fought this guy, but instead he had Thor's hammer, and then they find a way to like work that into the movie, and show really cool. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why I fell in love with the MCU in the first place, was things like that, cool,
Creative ways to use powers.
Yeah.
Instead of the obvious. But some of the obvious ways are good too, because those are the ways you saw them in the comics or the cartoons, and you want to see it on the big screen.
It's like
And they
crowd
bring it to
pleaser stuff
Mhm.
versus like more technically creative stuff. It's like if you go to a volleyball game, everyone wants to see a big
Mhm.
crazy spike, but if you're a volleyball player, you can really appreciate if a guy digs a really hard hit or a difficultly placed ball, stuff like that.
It's more fun. It elevates the experience to another level.
Yeah, those are the moments for like comic book fans, comic
Yeah.
book nerds, and they'll draw in people that aren't really even comic book fans, because that's just a cool thing objectively.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I also like when they sort of start to build out rules and limits for powers. It gives them some level of believability, that they're not just like all powerful. Like, for example, in the beginning, they're kind of like showing a montage of all of the different heroes and their abilities and things that they've done, and it shows the Thing saving a ship
Mhm.
from something like a fire. I don't remember exactly, but that scene gives you an idea of the scale of the Thing's power. So you know that, like, okay, he can move a ship. He's about that strong, at least. So
It's one of those doing two things at once kind of thing. Expositing some of their heroics early on and showing the limits of their powers. Which, when translated from a comic to a movie, you never know how powerful or powered down they are till you actually see them, at work.
do something.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah. Because if the first time that you see these guys' powers used is in a fight, then you don't really know like did that hurt him or is he
Mhm.
weak in that moment. But if you kind of establish what their ability is beforehand, then you kind of have like an idea of what they can and can't handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
True.
another, like they showed Johnny absorbing fire, so it
Mhm,
kind of
that
like
was great.
shows you a little bit of like, oh, he can absorb fire. That's a
Mhm.
thing that he can do.
Right out of the comic book. And there's other powers too they didn't even show, so maybe they'll save that for another time.
The only hero's powers that I felt were pretty lackluster was Mr. Fantastic's. He didn't really, I don't know, it's always kind of been that way, but I thought they would have found a way to make it interesting.
Yeah.
Do something cool. But
Stretching power looks weird, but yeah, I was kind of wondering if they were going to be able to make it look cool because, you know, the old Fantastic Four movies, stretching power looks weird. You know,
yeah.
maybe not in the Incredibles. The Incredibles it looked okay, maybe because it was a cartoon, but
Oh, Elastigirl was cool.
yeah,
The way that she used her powers. was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And you can, and there are ways that he uses his powers that can be pretty cool or weird in the comics, but they kind of didn't do too much with him. Maybe they didn't want to keep showing a weird power being used, or I don't know.
I felt like they didn't have enough faith in that character.
In
Did it
Reed
feel that way to
Richards?
you? Felt like they kind of like kept his kept his persona a little more subdued than he could have been. I don't know why. I don't know if they're building him up to something or they want to spotlight other characters and have him play background for a little bit because they're teeing him up for something bigger.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was still cool though. There were still moments of his Reed Richards genius and intelligence.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe they want to take their time a little bit.
Maybe he's gonna grow a little more, but
Because Reed Richards is a pretty consequential character. Like you think Iron Man wasn't consequential in Iron Man 1, but by Endgame, like he was the guy.
and Reed Richards is definitely one of well, he's often described as the smartest man on earth. So he has to be a formidable presence. And no, they didn't show him as that in this movie. Maybe they're growing him, but by the time the end of the movie comes, we're 9 years into them being the Fantastic Four.
Oh,
So
that's
he
true.
better be something special in the next time he appears in a movie, or I
Yeah,
don't know, something's just wrong with the casting or the writing or something.
yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. They really did keep him kind of under wraps. I mean, they use his genius, but
You know what'd be cool? I don't know if it would even make sense, but if Pedro Pascal played Reed Richards in, I assume he's gonna appear in Doomsday. I don't know, but I know very little about these movies.
spoilers.
I try to really limit my consumption of movie news. Anyway, it'd be interesting if he played him like Mando. Do you think that would be cool? I feel like that would be interesting.
Very cold,
Yeah, like kind
and
of.
unemotional.
Yeah.
Well, that would be interesting. However, he has a wife, he has a family, so
Well, maybe not like fully like Mando, but he has a sort of. I don't know. Maybe he takes like elements of
Well,
Mando
what
and
it-
works them into.
the way I would describe Mando is a very confident, he's a confident warrior who goes into things very, very strong and very confident. I didn't see that at all in Reed. Maybe he'll grow into that, like you said, but I don't know. He has to be a family man too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be cool to see him take that attribute of Mando and apply it to the next version of Reed Richards.
I would say maybe if Sue was killed in battle, and then he turned into that.
Oh man.
That would be believable, but since he has a wife and a child and family, he still has to be kind of open to emotions, even if he fights it or he's not normally like that. You know what I mean? He can't be totally cold like Mando is because
not
he has
cold.
a wife.
Just the confidence.
Confidence.
Because I think Mando's
Oh,
the way that Mando embodies confidence
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah.
more cold and callous. But he's still confident. I just want to see like not take the way that Mando does it, but just take the fact that he has confidence.
So I think we're
putting
agreeing
in
that.
Reed Richards.
So I think we're agreeing that Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards was not confident, was not
No,
strong,
no,
and if he took on some of that, that at least would boost his
yeah,
personality. It would boost his charisma, his leadership. If he is the smartest man in the world, as well as the leader of the Fantastic Four, yeah, he should be a little more confident than he was. It's not like he doesn't have a great support group. I mean, Johnny follows his orders, even though he makes fun of him. Ben Grimm,
excuse me.
great friend and support.
Yeah, he was a really good supporting character.
Yeah. So, and his wife, as strong of a woman as she was still supportive and followed his lead. Yeah, I mean, it's just somewhere in the Reed Richards character that leader was not quite there.
I thought of Mando because I was looking at that poster. But yeah, I agree that he should definitely have growth by the time we see him again.
But
And I think the only way that I'm okay with this Reed Richards is if if he has an arc. If the arc is not in this movie, but it's over several movies, as long as you have the arc
yeah,
and it's there,
yeah,
then I like to see,
sure.
I like to see a character develop. Granted, we're gonna not really see the development because we're jumping ahead now, but maybe in the form of flashbacks, maybe there will be some development that's shown.
We kind of said
some way.
the same thing about Superman. He was not quite developed in this movie, so we're gonna
But
be patient for the next couple movies.
the thing that I liked about that is that the only version of Superman I've ever seen is a polished,
Fully developed.
it's a fully developed Superman. I liked seeing a Superman in progress. It's also why I really like the Peter Parker in Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, because I've only ever seen Spider-Man at his peak. But seeing him on the decline was super interesting.
Mhm.
Like, he's still kind of got the movements and he's still got it, but like the body is not there, the motivation's not there.
Yeah.
That's a very classic Stan Lee to apply, just like what time does to a person.
Yeah, that's good.
Motivation. They're still very human in that way, even though they're
Superhuman.
The ramblings of a madman.
The ramblings of a madman? Who said that?
Me describing my notes right now.
Oh.
Yeah, another interesting thing that was like a foreshadow for me about the baby, because I was wondering what kind of powers is the baby possibly going to have. And Sue turned her stomach invisible, and the baby didn't turn invisible. Actually, no, she can.
Just make her skin invisible.
Yeah, I thought she was turning her whole body invisible, and the baby couldn't turn invisible.
Oh.
So that was a tell that at
I
least
think it was just skin.
Yeah, and then that's not true what I was thinking then. I like the representation of uncles in this movie.
Yeah,
Thing,
true family.
yeah, again,
Real
with the family
family.
thing, felt like a family. I think that I learned this by watching another movie recently. I don't remember what it was, but these movies at their core, they're themes, and you could dress up the theme in any kind of costume that you want. You could put space costume on it, you could put a fantasy costume on it, you could put whatever. But if you don't get the core theme correct, then I'm gonna be able to see right through you. Like for this movie, for instance, it was very thematically centered around family and what does a family look like and how does a family feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why in Superman, Crypto the super dog worked so well for me, because it felt like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like a space alien, a super powered being I can't connect to.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to connect to a dog. It just happens to have superpowers. So here's a family that just happens also to have superpowers, but they're still acting like a family. The uncles are taking care of and getting to do all the fun parts. And then you see the parents, like what it's actually like to raise a baby. And then they're putting the car seat into the car at the
Together.
end.
or not putting the car seat.
I think when a movie loses that and they just try to be the costume with no substance underneath, then there's no connection or relatability to the audience.
Especially if it's a this character's been presented in other media like comics or other movies, and if they don't represent the character the way you're describing it, they've lost not only the soul of that character, but what made that character great, which is human values and human struggles. Like it's a very universal concept a framework to write a character with those human values and struggles. And if you miss that, like you said, just a costume or just powers, it's just a sign of bad writing. They don't understand humanity.
Yeah.
You know, they don't understand universal themes. And so, yeah, that's why these fantastical superhero movies kind of transcend just a kids genre of movies. These are universal themes for us. And what was I going to say about that? That a lot of times when they miss that, it shows either there's no experience in the writer's life that he can give real human values that you can relate to, or I know what I was going to say. It doesn't matter if, you know, the nationality or the ethnicity of the hero. You know, as a young Filipino kid, I loved Captain America, Spider-Man. They were all white, but that didn't matter. It's the value of the character, the struggles that they went through that I resonated with, that I admired. That's why I wanted to be Spider-Man or be Captain America.
And then it makes it that much more valuable when you have a character that does also look like you, but the theme has the story is told with very strong foundational themes, because you're bought in on the part that's really important, like their character and who they are, and then you get to the added bonus of, they also look like me. That's pretty cool.
As long as they're written, as long as they're written that way,
looks like me.
Yeah, as long as they're written that way and not just slapped out there for representation's sake. But you could look like an orange, rocky, stony thing and still relate to his loneliness, how he thinks he looks, how he may not be accepted, you know. So, you know, really it doesn't matter what
Body
it looks
image.
like. Body image. By the way, I like the way every time the Thing walked around, you could hear the thud of his feet. Every time. In a building or on the ground. It's like you obviously knew he weighed a lot. He was very heavy.
Yeah, the sound design was really good. They don't forget to touch on that sense, and it helps it adds another support system to the immersion of the world. But yeah, something that I've been thinking a lot about Marvel movies and movies in general lately is that, like, the vapidness, is that the right word? The vapidness that you could feel between movies that have substance and movies that have none, is that I think that depending on what the driver of the movie is, whether it be money or
some agenda or something.
Agenda, or someone who actually wants to be creative and make you could tell what those differences are. And I think you can, it's the line that you have to toe between efficiency and art, because you can make a super efficient story and get right to the point. I could say, I went to the grocery store today, because it tells you everything that you need to know about it, but did you feel what I felt when I went there? Do you have a picture in your head of what the grocery store looked like? If I'm only giving you the important information and I'm taking out the whole experience and humanity side of it, then that's great that you got the story, but did you enjoy
the ride,
hearing the story? Did you
journey?
Enjoy your ride along the way? So I think that exhibits itself when movies start to prioritize money over the art of storytelling. They hit all of the beats. Like, all the trailers today look very similar. all the cast member names.
Yeah.
Every time there's a gun scene, they time the rhythm of the guns with the music because they have like a formula. They created a template for movies that make money, and they're just chugging those things out. But I think the movie market has started to become oversaturated with those types of movies, and now people are kind of like starting to see the pattern and really craving like genuine, authentic stories.
So that makes an interesting point. Are they now changing that because people are seeing that repeated and you need to give them something new and shiny? Or are they catering to the smarter audience who's saying, not this again, not this kind of music and these rhythms and the CGI huge ending? So I wonder sometimes if they're catering to just adjusting to so that dumb people can see something different and not see the same thing, or if they're saying, okay, the audience is smarter, let's try to write to their level a little more, because that's why there's that vapidness I think that you're sensing, is because they're writing as if we're stupid, that we can't think.
I think I don't think it's one or the other. I think there's a mix of people that are wanting to tell intelligent, creative stories, and then there are also people that are recognizing that intelligent, creative stories are lucrative, so they want to make those movies. So they're kind of like accidentally finding art. It's like a weird sort of form of art that's masquerading as art, but it's still almost at the level of genuine art, but there's just like some missing thing that you could tell that this is not this is for a studio or this is for a company. I don't know. I can't quite articulate what that is.
Mass produced. It's for the masses. Okay. Anyway, I think we're off point there. Sort of.
But yeah, efficiency versus art. I would you can chapter mark that. And, I don't know. Do with that information what you will. Another family theme that I really enjoyed about this movie was the power of human limitation, or the power of human potential, and what that can be pushed to when a human is driven to dire extenuating dire circumstances, at risk to personal well-being. They kind of just lock in and they do what they have to do. The whole scene where they're escaping Galactus' ship, they have to find a way to get back to Earth somehow. There's no way that they should be able to escape that situation, but they blow a hole through the ship. The thing maneuvers the ship through that asteroid field. They reach the what's it called? The thing to help them jump into hyperspace. Silver Surfer's still chasing them. The light is like, all of these things are happening, but they find a way to just, it doesn't matter. I gotta find a way to get out of this.
Yeah, not only do they find a way to get out of it, but they all work together. Family, they all work together. Hey, Thing, do this. Hey, Johnny, do that. And they're on it. They're all doing their own thing, working together as a unit. There's not that one character that goes, oh, they were never getting out of, the naysayer in the cockpit, that one guy. There wasn't that guy, that's an irritating character. They were all like, there might have been a minute where Ben says, Reed, are you sure we could do this? And he goes, do it. And he goes, okay, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Full trust in each other. Full love for each other.
Teamwork.
Yeah, and then it all culminates in Sue giving birth.
Yeah.
Which it made me think about, what are some of like the top birth scenes that I've ever seen in movies? What makes a good birth scene? And it made me think of The Quiet Place. Remember The Quiet Place?
Oh yeah.
She's giving birth in the bathtub.
No,
the first one.
Part one? Oh, okay.
She's giving birth in the bathtub and she has to be quiet. That really it really painted a picture of what childbirth looks like. You'll never be able to understand how that feels. So let's show you what it might feel like. And it feels a little bit like trying to be quiet when monsters are chasing you and they detect people by sound. That's a little bit what it feels like. Or giving birth feels like you're circling a black hole and you have to, those are really, That's imagery right
Mhm.
there. That
Symbolism.
symbolism and imagery are very powerful tools to helping communicate ideas. And um, yeah, I think that scene did a really good. It also um, very with imagery, it did a very good job of showing the theme of it takes a village
Yeah.
to raise a baby. Like, how do you describe that to someone? Oh, it's a lot of hard work. I'm tired all the time, but that doesn't really explain to someone what take a village is like. But then you see like a family in the middle of space circling a black hole, protecting a child from a cosmic being.
Again,
It's like, oh yeah, it feels like that. It's tiring,
Yeah.
it's demanding, it's this, that.
again, dressed up in superhero garb with superpowers and spaceships and stuff, but same human themes.
I think that once you really understand themes, you can kind of just mix and
Yeah.
match different
Yeah.
different things, and you can build whatever you want. And
That's right. That's good storytelling. That's resonating storytelling. If you can do that.
and you could tell that storytelling is the through line for good movies, because if you jump to a different genre, right, say like Spider-Verse, for example, no human people, no acting, no important, all animation,
Mm-hmm.
but the themes in there are very human, people
Yeah.
going through things, coming of age type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Family.
who am I going to be as an adult? I'm going to be like Uncle Aaron, or going to be like
Mhm.
my dad, the cop. All the struggles of like, what kind of person am I going to grow up into? So,
Big
Yeah.
life decisions for teenagers. Yeah.
good themes carry a movie, I think.
Definitely. Good characters.
Getting tired.
Going through realistic things. No, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, so I realized that as I was watching the movie, I don't really know the Fantastic Four well or intimately like you probably do. So for me, it was, I don't even know if it was a good Fantastic Four movie necessarily, but it was a good family movie. It's a good hero movie.
Mhm. Good science fiction movie.
Good science fiction movie. So all around, just good movie.
Adventure movie.
Adventure movie.
That is the Fantastic Four.
Mm.
All those things. All those things make up. Fantastic Four is called Marvel's first family, as in like the president, first family, first lady. The rank of and they were like Stan Lee's first go at the Marvel universe the way he saw it. But yeah, all the sci-fi
What does that
adventure.
mean?
That's a backstory of, he had to write the stories that his editor wanted him to write, but he didn't necessarily feel passionate about that, and so he was going to get fired, and he decided, well, and his wife helped him decide this. He said, you know what? Why don't I write the kind of characters I like, what I would read?
Mm.
So he wrote the Fantastic Four, and that sold like crazy.
Oh man,
So obviously history.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, his wife helped him to do that. His wife said,
Little history lesson.
yeah. So all those things that you described describe the Fantastic Four, and all those things I think we saw in the movie. Some things to different degrees of the other. I think it just came short of being a great movie, though, for a couple of reasons. But very good. That was the Fantastic Four in most respects.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you were to pie chart your perfect movie, what category, or MCU movie specifically, if you have comic book faithfulness, if you have, good writing or good storytelling, acting, what about Fantastic Four missed the mark that would make it a great movie for you, but where did it do well just as a movie?
Well, I think it did well in those areas. A fully realized '60s futuristic kind of world, and only a lot of the comics portrayed the futuristic aspects as being a result of Reed Richards' own work. So a lot of the futuristic aspects were within the Baxter Building where they lived, his gadgets, This movie showed a lot of like futuristic things, like just out on the
Everywhere?
streets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
everywhere.
true.
So I don't know what that is exactly. So that's different from the comics. It wasn't bad, but it
Like Meet the Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons or the Jetsons, as some say.
Yeah.
And I think the Thing was very good. You know, I think his voice could have been a little more gravelly and deep. That's okay. You kind of don't. That's not distracting as the movie goes on. He plays him well. He plays the loner, the sad sack, the monster who feels like the oddball in the group. But he's got a heart, big heart. That's the thing. He's entertaining kids. Pay attention to this lady that's a teacher.
What's her name again?
The girl?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know her name in the movie, but in the comics, he goes after a blind girl named Alicia Masters, whose
That's
father
right.
is Puppet Master. I don't know why they use the name in there. You know,
Alicia
like
Masters.
like Victor Von Doom is Doctor Doom. They do things with names that are like crazy. But yeah, I'm not sure unless she goes blind later. I don't know, but
Oh, that would be interesting.
yeah. And then Human Torch is he was pretty good, pretty. He nailed the character pretty good. He and Ben usually bicker and tease each other.
Yeah.
You know, especially Johnny teases Ben Grimm. Sue Storm.
The first Fantastic Four did a good job.
Yeah.
Of that.
Chris Evans did a great job. I mean, he made it funny and
I liked
comical.
the banter in that movie.
Yeah, maybe sometimes a little too funny, but but where it hit right. Sue Storm, strong woman, the core of the Fantastic Four. So she was good. Her character was good. Her powers were, for the most part, real good. It was Reed Richards that, to me, kind of falls short of what Fantastic Four was. And then the Silver Surfer being a woman instead of a man. I mean, what makes a great MCU movie to me? Take everything from the comics as much as you can. If you got to change some stuff, change stuff that's not super important. You know, Silver Surfer as a woman is super important. It's not something you just give away too easily, you know. I know people say, well, it's a different universe. Okay, that's fine. Well, I don't know. I think if you're going to debut the Fantastic Four and show the Silver Surfer and Galactus, you got to do it right.
Do it right and then tweak it later.
Tweak it later. Do a what if.
Once you've established the core cast of characters and you've paid tribute to what the fans have been waiting for. And
the more faithful you are to the comics, at least to the spirit of the comics.
Yeah.
The more the movies are going to be popular, people are going to enjoy them, it's going to make a lot of money so you can make more of them. When you depart from the comics, you're departing from what made the comics and those stories and those characters great.
Yeah.
Why are you departing from what made them great? Are you reinventing the wheel? You think you're going to have a better idea than that? Then go make something else. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done with my rant.
The way that I felt about the Silver Surfer was I felt that she was a really, really cool character.
Yeah.
Was she a really cool Silver Surfer? No. I mean, I know what a really cool Silver Surfer is in my head. And so when you tweak a very fundamental part of what that character is, then that's not the character to me anymore. It's a different character.
Mm-hmm.
Still a really good character. But I just didn't see her as Silver Surfer. But once I kind of just like made that switch in my head and just thought of her as like, okay, this is just a different character, not Silver Surfer. Let's just watch her as that character. She was really good.
Yeah.
Really well developed.
That's fine.
Had really good, the way that they played around with her powers and the way that she moved around in space was really cool.
The way she surfed through.
Yeah, it made me think of what the Silver Surfer would look like if she was moving around.
That was good.
She was actually one of the most interesting characters of the whole movie to me. I wish we saw more of her.
Yeah.
But
so all those like core things you liked about her, like her powers and all that, and like her tragic past and all that. That was all encapsulated in Nor and Rad, you know.
Yeah.
And so to be a fan of that, and then to see this, you're like, what? I don't know what to do with this, you know.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine to change fundamental aspects of a character. You can do whatever you want, but then they're not the character anymore. So just like you can't have both things. You can't say this is a completely new spin of the old character and it's also the old character. It's not. It just call it your new thing, and that's completely fine. And then we have the old Silver Surfer, and that's fine. But trying to convince me that what I'm looking at is what I knew initially, you're not going to convince me of that. And that's okay. That can still be a cool new character, and it was.
Yeah, Galactus has had many heralds, and I just clicked in my head. This is a different herald, a herald that I've never seen.
Well, who else did he have?
There's Terrax, there's Fire Lord, there's Gabriel, the Airwalker, Nova, which is a female Human Torch.
Nova was a herald?
Not the male Nova, is a female Nova. There's a good storyline in the John Byrne Fantastic Four. But here's another thing that goes back to writing. Okay, now back to your writing point. Why write a female Silver Surfer? What's the point?
I don't know.
What's he trying to do
that I don't
with
know.
that idea? See, it's like it doesn't. It all it does is confuse fans. You know. Anyway.
Yeah, I think if you have a good reason that explains it,
Mm-hmm.
then that keeps the story interesting to me. But it's like if I walked outside and all of the tires on my car were gone, and like I just had to like pretend like I could still drive the car. That's just how the car was. You're not gonna. I don't know if that's a good.
Well, it's just
analogy,
it's just like nonsense, right? And it's nonsense to change a character like that. I mean, why not change all of them? Or, well, I don't know. There's no logical reason to do this.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think that you can't get away with something like that if the performance is really bad. If you did that and the performance was really bad and you didn't execute what your vision of the character was really well, then no one's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
The reason why I enjoyed it was because, okay, it's like I see what you're trying to do. It's not Silver Surfer, but you did a really good job doing your version of. So I liked your version of Silver Surfer.
Again, that's true, and it might be like fine for especially people who don't know these characters. They're like, oh, female Silver Surfer. They don't know the difference between female and male Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
But again, if you're gonna base this off characters. What was the reason to change her into female?
I think that's the key difference is if you are very familiar with the characters, you're gonna care a lot more than someone who's not. It's like someone touching your stuff. Right. Like I made a hamburger and then you took a bite out of it when I wasn't looking. Well, don't touch my hamburger. You can have your own.
Or you changed it, put applesauce on it or something like that. So why are you? Why did you?
But if someone else took a bite of someone else's burger, I don't care that much. So I think if you grew up with the characters and you read the characters and you're invested in the characters, you get to have, you get to be outspoken about that. You get to feel the way that you feel, and the people that don't know the characters, they get to.
They don't care.
They don't care, and they get to experience any version of that character that they want to, and that's who that character is going to be for them.
But that's our response. That's the audience's response. It still doesn't answer the question why the writer changed to a female, change the character into a female. What's the purpose of it? What's the reason for it? You know what I mean? I mean, our response was, oh yeah, that's fine. It was serviceable, good actress, and actually turned into an interesting character.
Who is the writer?
I don't know. But what made that writer, when he was writing this story, say, I think I'll make the Silver Surfer a female? What in the world caused that person to do that?
Who wrote Fantastic?
And I think as you're making writing choices, I think it's important to
explain
why. Why are you doing this? And I'm not.
You just want to know why.
Yeah, I'm not saying this as an angry fan. I'm saying this as a writer. Why would a writer make a choice like this? See what I'm saying?
Is Shala Bal a Silver Surfer?
No.
So that character is not even Silver Surfer in the
Okay,
comics.
so there's like a what if alternate reality comic where a female Shalabal Silver Surfer appeared for like a page or two. That's it. So to say that this person's canon in the comics, okay, yeah, in a multiverse, 2 pages of a comic book, but you're talking 60 years.
It could be as simple as that person liked that quick second of them, and they're like, "Hey, I'm the writer. I get to do my version. I'm gonna pitch it. Might as well. I'm writing this. They can say no.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, let's see. Oh, they like it. Oh, okay. I guess. Well, let's try it out. Let's see. It could be as simple as that.
It could be.
Because to me, this movie didn't feel agenda driven. It didn't feel like it was packed with preachy messaging.
It was sprinkled.
Felt,
maybe sprinkled.
Maybe. But it felt like authentic storytelling and genuine storytelling. So maybe those parts are not from them. Maybe those are the parts where like studio steps in and they're like, hey, we want to have a strong female villain lead.
Yeah.
Can you check this box for us? Okay.
So if that's the reason why, I understand. It was beyond the writer's powers. Then I understand. That's the system. That's the movie making system. So
if it wasn't beyond the writer's powers, and the reason was as simple as, oh, I like that version of the character. Let's see if we can try it. What do you think of that?
I would say he got most of it right. He messed that one up. And that's why I've been telling people who ask me what I thought of the movie. I would say it's a very good movie, but it could have been a great movie by not doing those little decisions.
Yeah, I think if like they rebooted Kingdom Hearts and they made Sora like a baby for some reason.
Or a junior higher.
Yeah, a junior high kid.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? See, that's what gets me wondering, and it's like, why not just be super faithful and make this movie resonate with everyone?
Well, why not?
Why not what?
Why not do a completely different version of the character?
Because then you get half, I don't know about half, many of the audience going, why would they do this? Why would they change this character?
Maybe they want to be provocative. I don't know.
Maybe, but see, why be provocative? Why not just tell a good story? Be faithful to the characters, you know? But, you know, it's their movie, it's their money, whatever. But, you know.
Yeah.
And so it will give us these opinions. Well, guys like me.
I'm sure the writer has like a video on YouTube somewhere where they talk about the inspiration behind.
This will come out.
I would be curious to know.
Shall we move on from the female Silver Surfer who's taken up a lot of our time?
Who's definitely not going to make an appearance in a future.
Maybe. There's no real definite resolution that she died.
Yeah, it totally seems like they're teeing that whole thing up for a comeback in
It's not the actress's fault or anything like that. It's...
Check later. I think I just have a couple more thoughts, then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, one theme that I thought was told well that wasn't a family theme was the theme of time.
Oh yeah.
Notice that? Did I say that? Did I mention that to you?
In the car ride home, I think.
Yeah. So I noticed that they really hit on the theme of time a lot, building and structuring scenes around time. I don't know if it was the themist of time so much as using time as a storytelling device to help build stakes in a story. Like the first instance of it is when Sue is on the toilet taking a pregnancy test and she's like, I need 12, just give me 12 seconds. And he's like, oh, that's oddly specific. So first instance of the use of time to raise the stakes in the scene. And then when they're circling the black hole trying to get rid of the Silver Surfer, Reed goes, Sue, I need you to turn the ship invisible for 30 seconds. You're like, oh man, okay, 30 seconds. We know it's going to be hard, but we can do this for 30 seconds. Really like ties you in to, okay, this is possible. This might actually happen. Let's see if it might actually happen.
And then you start counting in your head too. And see if they're really doing it in the right allotted time.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to test like, okay, how accurate is it? Are they building this scene out to the dialogue? And then when the Silver Surfer destroys all of the portals to transport the Earth, there's one portal left. They can only transmit all of the city's power to that one portal for 37 seconds. So you have another time constraint. And then the last time constraint is that they are jumping Galactus to another universe that's going to buy them 1 million years of time to be able to figure out how to. So what's going to happen in that amount of time? What are the, now you're like raising the stakes to the next several movies moving forward. Super like good way of structuring a scene and building stakes into it, but then also scaling that to outside of the movie and ramping you up, like hooking you to the next movie.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget one more number reference. Fantastic
Oh
Four.
my gosh, how could I miss that one?
I think my response to that was it worked as a storytelling device. It worked in getting the audience engaged in the stakes of the situation. I think also it's a representation of the way Reed's mind works. It's so calculated down to the second or the minute or whatever. That's just the way he speaks. To him, that's just normal speak to give you a calculated, specific amount of time. And maybe Sue's statement in the very beginning of the movie where she said, just give me 13 seconds. And he said, that's all these specific. That could be a wife saying, that's the way you talk. I'm going to talk that way to you, and then he doesn't get it. I don't know. Now that you say that, it made me think about that.
Yeah, like he noticed it. He picked up on, oh, Sue's referring to time. I think.
Or she's like, this is the way you talk. You give me seconds or you give me minutes. I'm going to give you that. But he doesn't. He didn't pick up. He didn't pick up that he does that. It's like when your wife teases you about the way you talk.
He does that to me all the time.
And you don't know. I talk like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That
talks right back to me like.
But it happened at the beginning.
I talk like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I say earlier about how this movie reminded me of all of the great family movies that I've seen?
No, you did say it's heavy on the theme of family, but
Yeah.
you didn't say the family movies.
Yeah, I got the same sort of like family bond. We're gonna do this together.
Mm-hmm.
We love each other type feel that I got when I've watched Spy Kids, Cheaper by the Dozen, The Incredibles, and it's like
Fast and the Furious. No,
I haven't seen FF.
That's a
Family.
That's a Dom Toretto joke. Yeah.
But it showed me that like you don't have to have like a multi-million-dollar budget movie with big explosions and this and that to make an audience feel very connected to the story and to the characters. You can do it with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Storytelling is the common denominator in all of those movies because across those different movies you have different actors, different budgets, different music, all these things, but they all have good storytelling. That never changes.
Mm-hmm. And the theme of family doesn't change.
And I remember you, when Incredibles first came out, you said, oh, this is the Fantastic Four movie that we've been wanting. Mm-hmm. And the movie even, like the way that movie is structured very similar to this Fantastic Four movie. Like even, I think there are variations between the two, but the way that they ended, how it's kind of like, oh, we saved the day. Everything's fine. We're going back to our normal lives, but there's an impending threat, and we got
the Underminer.
The Underminer,
who is the Mole Man?
Who's the Mole Man in Fantastic Four?
Which is how this movie starts.
Yeah.
So maybe
like a nod to the Incredibles.
Maybe the Incredibles is the prequel to Fantastic Four: First Steps.
That's a fun theory that you could play around with in your head.
You heard it here first.
And then one more thing that I want to say. Themes. This is a very pro-life movie. How many pro-life movies have we seen in the past? However many. Do you even think about the fact that it's pro-life?
A little.
Words come to your.
Not till later that she's protecting her baby. She wants her baby to be born. She's protecting her baby from Galactus. Do we give up the baby for the world? And it's all about protecting the baby. Yeah. Pro-life, pro-family.
Yeah, and to me, like that was another example of how good storytelling trumps all. Because you could have told me from the beginning, I'm pro-life, I'm not getting rid of this baby this baby's life has value. You could have just said those talking points to me and I would have known exactly what you're talking about. But those terms were never used in the movie. All there was a strong connection to the mother, strong connection to the baby. I'm going to defend my baby. You're just showing me how you feel and who you are. No agenda. And
no stated agenda.
No stated agenda, yeah. Which goes to show you can have any kind of agenda that you want. You can tell any story that you want, but just let me absorb the story for myself. Don't force feed it to me.
Yeah.
And that will be exponentially more effective if you allow
more
me
impactful.
Than if you just like tell me.
Give you talking points or give you bullet points.
Yeah, and like it took me like a day to like come up. Oh no, I read it while I was watching the movie, but like I forgot about that point. But it took me like pretty much the entire movie for me to realize, oh, they're like actually giving a pro-life message. I never even thought about that throughout the entire movie.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, there's other stuff that I wrote on here. But...
Pro-life, pro-family, pro-space exploration.
Space exploration. Oh yeah, the space exploration scenes were really cool. Very, very stark contrast from like you were saying, Guardians of the Galaxy, where that is the world. Space exploration is kind of fun. You're on
Easy.
the highway.
It's easy to get in space, come out from space.
Space was hard in this movie.
Space was hard. It looked like it's hard work.
Because space is hard.
And I heard that they used
it's a
a
cool
lot.
Shirt. Space is hard.
Space is hard. I heard they did a lot of practical effects too. We have to look that up. But I heard that the spaceship was practical, was a model, which I couldn't tell, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And the Fantastic Car, I think, was a practical. And anyway, we have to see it behind the scenes to verify that. But that's what I heard from the director in an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it didn't feel as much of a CGI world as some of the previous Marvel movies have felt. I felt like I could reach out and touch this world.
Herbie was real.
Oh, really?
In a lot of scenes.
Oh,
wow. My only thing about Herbie is he sounded a lot like BB-8, and Human Torch rubbed his head the way Poe Dameron rubbed BB-8's tummy. But
I didn't notice that.
And,
I was hoping BB-8 was gonna like be super powerful at the end when he was protecting the baby. I thought, oh, we're gonna see
Herbie.
what...
You mean Herbie?
Herbie. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, we're gonna see what Herbie can do now. And then he just
shuts the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think that Reed, as he baby-proofed his apartment and tried to baby-proof the world, or whatever as they were saying, would like install some kind of amazing fail-safe, some kind of super protection or weaponry in Herbie.
Or maybe that was Reed's attempt at trying to be gentle, because he's like over analytical and everything else, protecting with weapons, this and that. But I'm gonna try and create like just a caregiver that has no self. I don't know.
Could be.
Or they just missed it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain away.
Did you talk about your Galactus and baby
analogy? Yeah. I had the thought that Galactus is like a giant baby, because on the theme of family, you have a newborn baby. Galactus seemed like a giant baby to me, because he just has this eternal hunger, and all he wants to do is eat.
There's no negotiating. There's no negotiating. There's no.
He's not evil. He's not good. He just
hungry.
is. He's just hungry.
There's no politeness. There's no negotiating.
They'll do whatever they need to do to get their food, and babies are the same way. They'll do whatever they need to do.
And who gets the food for him?
Their herald.
His nanny.
Their mommy.
His nanny.
Yeah.
And then
Silver Surfer's Galactus's mommy.
And then who does he want to swap places with?
Another baby.
And did you like the CG baby?
Oh, I don't know what was up with that. The baby went back and forth from looking real to kind of looking CG to having really bad CG. Yeah, they skimped on that department for some reason. I don't know. They could have just used. Can they use a real baby? Aren't there like laws against child laws?
That's why you get twins, so you can double the hours.
Mm.
But anyway, I wish there was a little more story development with Ben Grimm. He is like, even though Reed's the leader, and and the siblings are powerful. Ben Grimm is like the most famous and popular member of the Fantastic Four. He is full of personality. He has the deepest like sorrows and struggles. He has the biggest heart. He has spun off into other comics by himself. There are Thing comics. There's a Thing by himself, solo Thing comic, a Marvel 2-in-1 where he teams up with different guys. And so he is like a very, and I think he's based on Jack Kirby himself. His personality, his desire to fight all the time, fight his way, punch his way. I think he's based on Jack Kirby himself. I think I'd heard that a couple of times, and it seems right. Because I've seen interviews with Jack Kirby, and he's very similar to Ben Grimm. I would have liked to see a little more of him, his story. I mean, he did a thing with a girl, but it kind of didn't go anywhere. Oh, pro-Jewish movie.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Yeah, bad timing for them.
Yeah. I was surprised that they kept that in. I would have think that's something that they would have removed, not want to stay political, but
This might
interesting.
see, and this makes you think: is Marvel making decisions now? The other thing I thought too is, of all the good stuff about the movie, which can't argue with it, I felt like there was like a montage in the beginning of all their adventures. He shows them powers, it shows their powers, and shows them at work. And then there's the battle with Galactus at the end. Was there much fighting in the middle?
No.
It was all exposition. It
Yeah.
was all
It was a
problem
lot of-
solving.
Yep.
So in that sense, I mean, even though we've said so many good things about the movie, in that sense, it was kind of boring.
It was.
Like I want to see the Thing, and I want to see the Thing lift up Galactus's foot from the front, which he does in the comics, to giant beings. He lifts them up and topples them. I didn't see the Thing do much, do much clobbering, and there was a lot of, like, I get it, sci-fi and adventure, but man, I wanted to see them use their powers more.
Here's
Sue Storm
what
got to at the end very much. And I got a comment about that too.
Here's what I think is happening here. I don't know if this is what the writer is doing, but I think if this person is a good writer, which I feel like they are, this is what I think they might be doing, is that, number one, the reason why we're not seeing each character highlighted equally is because you have the same amount of runtime to tell 4 character stories as you would one character. Like Iron Man has his own movie,
Yeah,
Thor
right.
has his own movie, Spider-Man has their own movie. So you got to pick one, and maybe they're just strategically picking. Okay, we're gonna tell
Makes
Sue's story
sense.
first, which is gonna spill over in a Reed story, which is gonna spill, whatever. So I think maybe they're just trying to like drop hints as to, okay, maybe we're gonna see
More
a
to
little bit
come.
more of this Alicia Masters in the future. Maybe we're gonna see a little bit more of Reed here in the future. But right now, this is Sue's story.
Mhm.
Right now, this
Baby.
is Johnny's story.
Spent a lot of time with the
Baby's
baby.
story.
Spent a lot of time focusing on the baby. But
Yeah.
having said that, they did focus a lot on the 4 of them together.
I think if they keep coming back to that,
Yeah.
like no matter whose movie it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
like, oh, okay, now there's a Reed story. Come back to the family every so often.
Yeah.
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 Let us like
It-
feel
it-
the safety of.
Yeah, it didn't go off into too many side characters.
Yeah.
It did stay focused on the 4 or the 5.
Yeah.
So that was good. What else? You got anything else? You got anything else in your notes that you?
I just started writing down all of the departments in the movie.
Oh,
I was
the
reading.
credits.
I've never read the credits before, like all the way through, and I tried to this time. And
Oh,
man,
gosh.
there are so many moving parts that go into a movie, things that you would never think of, whole departments for them.
What'd you think of the end credit scenes?
Oh, I thought it was cool. It felt reminiscent of the old Fantastic Four 60s. Or not, we didn't watch the Fantastic, we watched the Spider Friends 60s show.
Yeah, I've seen the 60s cartoon. It does look like that a little bit. And all the villains that Reed overlooking the city was saying that he was monitoring with the police appear in that final cartoon at the very end.
Oh,
No. Puppet Master, Dragon
Oh.
Man. I don't know if you mentioned Dragon Man. Diablo, the Red Ghost. Space
Those are all
Ghost.
Fantastic Four villains.
Yeah, obscure, but they're right there in the canon. Mentioned Latveria quickly in the movie, and the Stan Lee Jack Kirby
Cameo.
cameo. They were looking out the window, and
I didn't recognize him.
one guy had a drawing board. He was drawing. The other guy, I think, if he was a typewriter or something. But they were looking out the window to see. I think it was Galactus.
Yeah,
Galactus.
I don't think I would have known that was
I
them
think-
if you didn't tell me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was them. And then the 1994 Roger Corman cast of Fantastic Four appeared in the beginning when they were saying, "Thank you, Fantastic Four."
Oh.
That, the movie that they made just to keep the rights, but they never released the movie. One of the guys, the Human Torch.
Wait, what? They released the movie?
Okay, so Roger Corman, or a studio, I forgot, it was Universal Studios, someone, they had the rights to Fantastic Four. If you don't make a movie within a certain number of years, according to the contract, you lose the rights. It goes back to wherever it came from. Someone else will have the rights. So they put together this cheap, thrown together movie, 1994, Fantastic Four. You can find it on YouTube. And it wasn't made that well, but the story was good. The characters were solid, but they never released it. It was only made to retain the rights.
Have you seen the movie?
I've seen it. And there's a documentary on it on Hulu called
So it's like a-
Doomed.
It's like a fan made movie almost.
Yeah, but it's made by a studio,
But does it have like
cheap
the
studio.
feel of like a fan made movie?
Yeah, kind of.
'Cause
Yeah.
I feel that way about fan movies sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like it's super good production for a fan movie.
Yeah.
But the story is super good. You could tell that this was made by
It's a
by people
budget
that really-
studio.
Yeah.
But the Fantastic Four that played there in 1994 were in the movie
Oh, that's cool.
saying thank you, Fantastic Four. And the Human Torch actor, he went to Masters Seminary.
Oh, you did?
John MacArthur, and he was trying his hand at acting. He was the Human Torch then. Then he got into full-time ministry later. I met him at Shepherd's Conference.
See, it's not too late for you to try your hand at acting. You just take the path from the opposite end.
His name is Jay. Let's see. His name is Jay Underwood.
Jay Underwood.
Yeah, he appeared in a couple movies in the '90s, but then he left Hollywood and became a pastor.
That's interesting.
Yeah. He asked, when I met him at the Shepherd's Conference, he asked me, "Hey, if you ever need a speaker in Hawaii, call me up."
Eh,
They always do that.
trying to network.
Yeah.
Even pastors have to network in a way, don't they?
Yeah, sure, they do. Oh, and all the clear gospel symbolism of giving up one life for the world.
Oh yeah.
See, that's
Yeah.
Norrin Radd's deal. That was Norrin Radd's. That was a clear lift from the gospel. Norrin Radd giving his life for his whole planet by sacrificing his life, giving it to Galactus, becoming his herald, spared the planet.
Yeah.
And then they kind of transferred that to Franklin. They said, if you give up this one baby for the whole world. So I don't know.
Oh,
There it was twice, I guess.
they're taking Fantastic Four elements and they're kind of moving them to different
A little bit,
parts.
yeah,
of the
yeah,
universe. Playing around, shifting the puzzle.
yeah. That whole cosmic baby swapping places with Galactus. I don't think I've ever seen that in the comics. I don't think that's a comic story. I think that's original.
What is the most comic book story that you've seen told accurately in the MCU?
Captain America: First Avenger is pretty close. Iron Man, maybe 75%.
At this point, are they doing any comic book accurate stories, or are they all pretty much like variants? of
Yeah,
comic
like
stories?
Fantastic Four is like return to that, because the other stuff that's been coming out have been sequels. What was it? Captain America: Winter Soldier,
So that wasn't-
Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts I never read, so I don't know what that is. But yeah, all the old stuff like Thor, those were
You're still holding out for a comic book accurate MCU movie, huh?
yeah, because those are the ones that everyone loved in phases 1, 2, and 3. They were
Oh,
mostly
yeah. So what are some other ones then? 'Cause you think there's more.
got me on the spot now. If not comic accurate, they were at least faithful to the spirit. Like they'll shift times, like stuff that happened to Hank Pym and Scott Lang. Some things overlap. They just trade story elements or characters or combine characters, stuff like that. But yeah, the closer they keep at least to the spirit, if not, the exact story.
Yeah, that's where you
The
have
better.
an advantage on me again, knowing the source material as well as you do.
And it's not like, oh, I want the source material because that's what I read. I want the source material because it's superior to what I see on the screen. And all you had to do is lift the source material.
Yeah.
Why change that to put something inferior up on the screen? It's all here. You've got 70 years worth of source material. Why not use it? And I heard they don't use it sometimes because they don't want to pay the creators any residuals.
really?
Or right. I heard something like that. I don't know how it all works, but I had heard that.
That's a little nefarious.
Like if you can change the story 30%, then you can use it without paying them. Something like that. Anyway, that's a topic.
Well, that's a good point that a lot of people don't think about when they watch a movie, is that story belonging to someone.
Show
Kinda
business.
just think of it as a story that exists out in the
Just
universe
use
for
it.
anyone, but someone put the time and work into building that and making it successful.
Mhm.
And if you're not, adequately paying respects to it,
compensating the
then-
record
yeah,
owners,
then you're
creators.
kind of what's the word? I can't think of the word right now.
You're stealing it, or anyway, yeah.
Riding the coattails of its success, or something like that.
Well, they laud Stan Lee, they laud Jack Kirby. Okay, then show their
Show
stuff.
it, yeah, back it up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
I mean, it's their studios; they can do what they want. But you want to make money or not? You want to make fans happy or not?
Yeah.
So anyway, they're closer now. This was a step in the right direction.
Well, see, this is why you gotta start watching anime, because you are watching adaptation after adaptation after adaptation after adaptation of really,
Manga?
really good source material.
Manga.
No. You in the MCU are watching version 1, version 2, version 3 of something that's very beloved.
Mm-hmm.
Anime is constantly pumping out new stuff, brand new stuff you've never seen. So there is no, it's supposed to be like this. There's just like, oh, there's another cool thing. Oh, another cool thing. Oh, another cool thing. And this is why, in my opinion, anime is in many ways superior as a genre to so much of American cinema that we
And
have,
comics.
and TV shows.
Well, I understand that the sales represent that because the anime and manga outsell stuff we do.
And US is starting to pay attention. I would never have thought in a million years I'd see original animes on Netflix. I used to have to go to the far reaches of the internet to find pirated versions of Naruto to watch
That's right.
online.
That's true.
Now it's
Mainstream.
like you can find it on Netflix, you can find it on Max. They have a Studio Ghibli Fest that happens every year.
Oh,
So-
speaking of One Piece, isn't there a stretchy character there?
Yeah, I think
look
that
fine.
they do a really original, unique take on stretch powers in that show.
So
And they
maybe
make him super strong. Like something
Yeah.
about making his I don't know, like One Piece. I don't know One Piece that well, but like he can make himself super strong by like changing the elasticity of his skin. I don't know, something like that. They like dive into different layers of his powers.
so the MCU just needs to have confidence in stretchy powers. even though it might not.
Or just
look-
confidence in all its source material.
yeah, all of it's outlandish and shocking and amazing.
You don't need to like.
Just
you don't need to change anything to
Yeah.
make it amazing.
yeah, just believe in it, just like we believed in it reading.
Believe in it or make new stuff.
Yeah, or make something else. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that like the variations are cool, but if you're only seeing variations, I can see how that would be frustrating.
Annoying.
You want to see like an OG representation of your beloved characters at least like a handful of times. Is that too much to
And it
ask
would
for?
just benefit everybody. It would benefit your bank. Your bank will after making so much money.
Yeah, because that's the angle that the studios need to have. Like, they need to have some sort of like, oh, what's the financial incentive here? Because they're never gonna do it for for noble reasons to
Right.
stay true to the characters.
Show
of course you
business,
gotta-
right?
Wanna wrap it up?
Sure.
I don't want to see if we can still watch it. But anyway, overall, what are your closing thoughts on the movie?
Closing thoughts are that it is a step in the right direction, not
First steps. in the
fantastic,
right direction?
Fantastic Four, not missteps, but first steps. Okay.
Okay.
And I thought that they did a good job casting most of the characters, getting the spirit and feel of the FF. Although certain baffling casting choices, keep this from being a great movie. And I considered too, like maybe they should have kept the Silver Surfer Galactus story for like movie number 3, or build up from movie number 2. But yeah, they landed Galactus. It'd be like putting Thanos in the first movie. Galactus was maybe dispatched a little too easily in this movie to me. Galactus is a world devourer, and sometimes it takes all the Avengers to take him down, But these guys did it. Sue pushed him back by herself. I guess it was motherly instinct, and she did it to the point of death. So okay, I'll buy that. And she is pretty powerful. But I feel like they kind of got rid of Galactus a little too quickly, and maybe introduced him too soon. But anyway, those are nitpicks. Still a good movie. Still fun. Where do they go from here? Who's the villain in Fantastic Four 2?
Yeah, I can totally. I have a better grasp on your frustration with their lack of faith in the source material. It's like we're introducing this new family of characters. How can we make people like them? Oh, let's throw the biggest villain in the first movie instead of let's just trust that these are good characters or people are gonna like them. They don't have enough faith in them. I don't think it's everyone on the movie. I think they're the people that are on the movie that are maybe like not on the comic book creative side of things. They're on the business side of things. There's a disconnect between how the movie is managed and how the content is created.
Yeah, that's
And
got to
so-
be very frustrating for the creators.
And so like the creators, I think the creators have been around long enough in this period of time to where they understand how to play ball a little better now.
Give and take.
And we're starting to get better movies because they are finding ways to say, okay, you know what, you guys want to do your big blockbuster movie first thing, fine, but this is how I'm going to put my spin on it, this is how I'm going to make it good. And I don't think they knew how to do that before. It was either, all right, I gotta do this, or I'm gonna lose my job, so I'm gonna put the biggest, baddest thing in. And I think that they're slowly getting better.
I hope
that.
so. I hope they're course correcting.
Yeah, and I think it's
The
gonna
last five-
feel.
Last 5 years of MCU movies have been, they have not been phases 1, 2, and 3. If
Yeah,
they're not.
but in the what's it called? In the lifespan of a franchise, that's fairly early in a franchise. And I think we're like treating this like any other franchise that we've seen that's already sort of like that's aged pretty well. We've never seen a movie franchise last this long to this scale.
You mean the
It was-
MCU?
The MCU.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it for the first time. So naturally, while we're in it, it's going to be frustrating until we're on the other side of it. But that being said, it's not going to, like, people can only, like, have that perspective for so long until they want to just enjoy, like, people aren't sitting there,
Yeah.
like, pondering the MCU.
Right.
Most of the time, they're just consuming it.
That one
They're
movie.
just in that, in that moment in time.
Mhm.
But anyways,
And well, I think that's one of my frustrations as a fan of the MCU is I know what they can do, they just won't do it.
and you've also been a fan of the MCU for a lot longer.
Well, you know, we went in on it together with Iron Man.
Well, I mean,
You're
you've
talking
been a
about
fan of Marvel and
Marvel,
comic
yeah,
books for longer. So to you, this is like, man, I'm in the latter years
I'm in
of
my
being a
50th
fan.
year of
Me, I'm fairly new, so it's like, oh, it's all cool. I'll give them all the time in the world. And you've been waiting for
yeah.
seeing the characters that you love represented the way that you want.
True.
So that's
I see the potential that's there,
yeah.
and you're just
So that is like a perspective that just like newer and older fans of comic books are just never going to, I don't think, agree on. But like I can like totally respect that because I've been a fan of other things longer than you have. And
Yeah.
to me, like I'm looking for certain things now because I've seen the same thing over and over again
Yeah.
or whatever.
well, older guys like us want younger guys like you to enjoy these things
But
as good as they could be.
Mm,
So that's part of the reason why we're fighting for it.
yeah.
And we don't have a lot of time left, you know.
Well,
I want to see
I'll tell you
great
this.
I want to see a great X-Men movie.
I'll tell you this, we're enjoying them in a way that you never did
Mhm.
with the new stuff that we're seeing now because this is the new thing for us.
Right.
So now we're just gonna have this interesting exchange
Yeah.
where we're constantly trying to show the other how they can
How they
enjoy
perceive
it in
it.
a different way.
Mhm. Yeah. That's good.
So that is the positive cycle of movie
That's-
reviews that really is what it's all about.
That's what fandom is all about. Can the thing
That's what a good, healthy fandom.
Can the
is
thing
about.
beat the Hulk? Can the Hulk, you know? Anyway,
Yeah, those are the stories that would be cool to see. Yeah, so anyway, Fantastic Four. I really enjoyed the movie. I think that the fact that I like movies that make me feel, whether it be fear or happiness or joy or sadness. And I think as long as you can keep feeling during a movie, and as long as a movie is interesting, I don't think you can really go wrong if a movie is interesting. Even if the movie is really bad, I would enjoy a movie like that more than I would enjoy a movie where I'm waiting to see if it's over. So-
kind of like this video. It's been going on so long.
Okay, time to turn it.
Are we gonna bother comparing Superman and Fantastic Four, or is that?
Oh my
We can talk
gosh.
about that offline if you want. I do
Um,
want to talk about that at some point, but
Yeah, I probably have some thoughts there, but I need to
we could do it
dwell
another
on
time.
them a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, good Fantastic Four review. Excuse me. Bye-bye.